I remember sitting in your office having just like a breakdown about what am I doing with my life? Because I'm a planner.
Mhm.
Why am I in college if I don't know what I'm doing? When I knew that I had your support and I had Maeve and I had everyone backing me and supporting me, I was like, wow, like there's these people on campus that I didn't know before joining CAB and they really care about students. I'm Hannah Mantle. I'm a senior studying psychology and child and family studies.
And I'm Liz Keller. I'm the director of student activities here. This is my 4th year in this role, but my 7th year at Ashland.
It's crazy.
It's wild to think about that I've been here for that long, and that when I started this position, it was also when you started,
Yeah.
and we've grown into the Ashland experience and what student experience looks like on campus together.
Yeah, because you started in Red's life.
Yeah. And
And
then jumped ship as soon as I got my master's and said, "I'm gonna be fun now."
yeah, you are the fun person on
Most fun
campus.
job on campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think part of that goes to the student experience, and, like, that's my whole role, and I think
Mm.
that's where you found your path at Ashland is impacting students in those unexpected ways that you don't see all the time
Yeah.
with CAT.
Yes, with CAB. I think that goes along with like currently I'm pursuing enhancing the student experience and leaving that lasting impact, especially because I'm a senior and I'm graduating in a couple weeks. That's what I'm truly focusing on right now is just leaving that impact on campus.
Mhm. What would you say, is your favorite aspect of the student experience that you've experienced?
Oh, that's a really good question. I I think internally, especially with inside CAB and all the roles that I've held, is seeing the student leaders grow, like seeing them from where they started to where they are now. And I think externally, just seeing all the memories that people are making, like having them have an outlet to be themselves at and fostering that sense of community and belonging on
Mhm.
campus.
What is your favorite memory within CAB?
Within CAB,
Mhm.
so my second year in CAB, we went to Camp Nahop for our overnight retreat. And I really think that that's been my favorite experience because, like, I was kind of more integrated into CAB compared to when I was a freshman,
Mhm.
and it was just, like, the best time ever hanging out with my friends and getting to know all the new cabbies that we had just recruited,
Mhm.
so
Can you explain what CAB is?
yeah, okay. So, CAB, Campus Activities Board, is the event programming board on campus, and we program over 30 events per year. And I think what's so unique about it, especially with you being the advisor of CAB, is you kind of just like give us free reign to do what we want and rein us in when we need to. But
Mhm.
what like how does that look like for you in your role? Like how does that make you feel sometimes?
I feel like a proud mother hen of all of you,
Yeah.
because, like, I'm only, like, a handful, maybe 2 handfuls now older than you all,
Yeah.
um, and just seeing how much students care about
Mhm.
other students'
Yeah.
enjoyment and experience
Mhm.
is so, like, heartwarming,
Yeah.
and but it also, because of the way that we have CAB be so student-led, it is
Mhm.
also a test of, "All right, we're gonna see what
Yeah.
sticks." Like, very much a part of the let them theory of, like, let them figure it out, let them
Mhm.
work through this, and pushing them along and giving guide rails, but
Mhm.
really just letting you all as students go where you wanna go because you all know the students best.
Yeah, I think you doing that has left the biggest impact on me in the way that I lead students because as the co-president, I truly just let the event chairs and all of our exec team like just do what they want and I'm
Mhm,
also those guide rails,
mhm,
as a peer to them and as their co-president.
mhm.
So I think it's super unique.
Mhm. So, from your 4 years, you put on, what, 30 events a year, 4 years, like, over 100.
Mhm.
Uh, do you have a favorite?
There's so many that we've done that I don't even think I could remember every single event we've done, but if I had to pick, I would say my sophomore year Spring Fest doing
Mm,
Pineapple Palooza, SpongeBob themed. That I think what's so unique about that event is it started as doing a mock event during our exec retreat
mhm,
in the spring semester, and we just ran with it.
mhm,
Like, we were like, "Oh my gosh, this is such a terrible idea," but then we had that light bulb moment that was like, "But wait, this could be so good."
mhm,
And I think that's truly when I was already kind of outside of my shell in certain ways, but with that event, I feel like it really helped me transform to see the overall holistic perspective of events from start to finish,
mhm,
especially having to plan that alone. I mean, I
mhm,
had you and I had Maeve and Anne, but really just planning that completely alone with my committee was an
mhm,
experience, and the way that the students enjoyed it made it, like, the most memorable.
mhm, and being willing to put yourself out there
Yeah,
for it. Do you remember walking around campus, passing out flyers,
and
blaring SpongeBob with Mrs. Mary's mom?
how could I not?
How could you not forget that?
And I think that's what's so unique about cab
Mhm,
is you do those really weird things, and we talk about it for years later, and internally and externally, that is an impact that you
mhm,
leave on this campus. Like, I
mhm.
I still have students who, like, say, "Oh my gosh, do you remember when you did that?" And I'm just like you did, and I'm like,
Yeah,
yes, yeah, yes, I
yeah,
do, and
like
there's no way to explain, like, the feeling that you get when doing it unless you're actually doing it. Because at
mhm,
first you're, like, timid, you're like, "Oh, this is, like, this is out of my comfort zone," but then once you're into it, you're so ready to just do it for, like, hours.
yeah, yeah, you were going that day. I remember that.
Yeah.
Um, so when did you realize that the student experience mattered so much to you? Because when you first came in, you were a very different Hannah 4 years ago.
I was a very different Hannah. I guess we can start there.
Yeah.
So, when I came into Ashland, I was a nursing major, and I had had that plan for 4 years that, before coming to college, that's what I was gonna do with my life. I wanted to be a nurse, and I ended up working in an emergency room,
Mhm,
and it was so hard on me. If anybody knows anything about me, I'm an empath, and I feel things so deeply, which I think is a great quality to have as a student leader,
mhm,
but when I had that realization, I remember sitting in your office having just, like, a breakdown about what am I doing with my life? Because 'Cause
mhm,
I'm a planner.
mhm,
Why am I in college if I don't know what I'm doing?
mhm,
And I think that's such a common story for a lot of students. But I say this story because when I knew that I had your support and I had Maeve and I had everyone backing me and supporting me, I was like, "Wow, like, there's these people on campus that I didn't know before joining CAB, and they really care about students." And internally, I was like, I want to be that for somebody else. I want to have that impact on somebody.
mhm,
And I took that energy throughout my 4 years now, and I've poured it into my peers and the students that we lead. And also, I pour that into all the events that we plan.
mhm,
I I, like, saw Cab at summer orientation, and I was like, "Oh, wow. Look at these guys." But, like, you
mhm,
guys were so fun, and I just took a chance to join Cab, and I witnessing the impact that you leave on students and the stories people tell, like, kind of lit that fire under me, I think,
mhm,
to wanna keep leaving that impact on students.
mhm, mhm.
When did you know that it was time for you to transfer and, like,
Mm.
switch to student activities?
That is a hard question. Um, so when I was in college,
Mhm.
which sounds like it forever ago, but it really wasn't, I swear.
Yeah.
10 years, I think.
Wow.
Don't make me think about it too much.
Okay.
I was an education studies major, and my
Mm.
whole plan was to work in a museum. I wanted to work in a
Yeah.
museum. I wanted to do zoo education. I wanted to be that like fun field trip person.
Mhm.
And then when I did that, I realized, oof, no, not as good as I thought it was. Not as good as I thought it was. I think still has value, still
Mm.
holds a place in my heart. Um, but just wasn't what I was looking for.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was also a resident assistant at the college I
Mhm.
went to,
Mhm.
and my mentors, really urged me of, like, "Keep going towards this, like, you light up when you talk about the floor programs you're doing, the
Mhm.
connections you're building with students." And so I did.
Yeah.
That's where I found Ashland. Um, and when I decided to jump over into student activities,
Yeah.
it honestly, it I didn't know what to expect.
Mhm.
I fully was just like, well, I know the team. And I know that if I'm going to take this jump into a whole different field,
Mhm.
that is completely unknown to me. Like, I
Mhm.
know RA programming, but that's like
Right.
20 students on a residence hall floor. And I
Mhm.
know RA support, but I don't know the fun side of
Yeah.
campus.
Mhm.
And but I did know that I was going to be supported by the team. I knew that I had Nicole and how amazing she is as a mentor, to lean on and
Yeah.
find support in as somebody who was doing this exact job for 20-25 years beforehand.
Yeah.
That she just had a wealth of knowledge that I want
Mhm.
and want to keep learning. And then the student side, that's easy. I think what shifted for me and how I've reframed it of
Mhm.
like going from I want to be that light bulb, see the spark in the kids' eyes when they learn that really cool animal fact
Mhm.
to I want to be that person who facilitates those events that leave that huge smile on students' faces. And you know that
Mhm.
you're doing a good job when they're like, that was so fun.
Yeah.
And I think that gets reiterated every single week, every time that CAP is programming, and
Mhm.
every time that we're doing something on campus.
Yeah. I agree.
Within the student experience, are there any like experiences that you've had that you're like, how did this happen? How did I get here?
Yeah, I think the one that comes to mind is going to NACA this past February and
Mhm.
presenting the
Yeah.
ed session there.
Mhm.
I felt like I had the biggest imposter syndrome in the world. So NACA, National Association of Campus Activities, CAB goes to it every single year. And I've been, like so lucky to go the past 4 years. I've also been in CAB.
Mhm. You call it
And
your Super Bowl, right?
yes. NACA is my Super Bowl. We have a countdown for it every year. It's just the best time ever. I've met so many amazing people and connections at NACA and memories made with everyone that goes in CAP. But this year, I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to take the next step and present at NACA. And something that Ashland has given me is a passion for student leadership and helping students grow and become better humans. And not only that, but also you're here for 4 years and these experiences that you're like having on campus are shaping the rest of your life.
Mhm.
Whether people want to believe it or not. I still have a hard time believing it, but I was so passionate about that and wanted to share tips and tricks in my story on how you can take the experiences that you're having on campus and turn it into a career for yourself.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what I did. So I applied in October. Yeah, October. And I remember getting the email and sprinting to your office
Mm.
from my room to like tell the whole office that I'm presenting at NACA.
Mhm.
And that, like, seriously, that was the most insane moment of my like student experience here.
Yeah.
And then oh my gosh, just, like, planning the presentation and the activities that we were doing, and then doing
And you didn't plan it until, like, the week 2 weeks
I
before,
know. No, okay.
because you were like, "I can't feel this pressure or
No.
overthink it."
No.
So you just went with what you knew.
Yeah, because that's one of the biggest things about me is I'm also an overthinker, and I'm a perfectionist, and I want what I put out to be good. And I knew that if I started it, the day after I got that email, it would have changed a million times.
Mhm.
So I always knew what I wanted to do with it. Like I had, the outline in my head. But yeah, 2 weeks before I locked in, I got everything done. I think it was the day before we left for NACA,
Mhm.
we did a a run through, and I just grabbed everyone that I could from the student life office and the res life side,
Mhm.
and that was so fun. Like, that's a memory I'll hold with me forever. And then actually going to NACA and doing it was, like, surreal, and it's, like, probably so silly, like, if you don't know what NACA is, it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're just doing an ed session at NACA," but I'm like, "I'm doing an ed session at NACA." Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, I think as a student getting any level of that professional development of I'm presenting at a, like, huge,
Mhm.
huge national
Yeah.
conference
Mhm.
for other students, professionals,
Mhm.
and having to be selected for that, like,
Yeah,
that's wild.
I know.
And, like, I know I can't imagine that any other student on campus realizes that, like, that's an opportunity.
Mhm.
Like, there's so much that happens inside the classroom and going to conferences for
Yeah.
classroom-related stuff, but, like, being able to do that for something that people are like, "That's just fun," is, like, such a unique experience,
Mhm.
and being able to present is wild.
Yeah, I think Ashlyn does a fantastic job of focusing on academics, but I think something that I've taken within myself to kind of, tell everyone on campus is you should get involved in your 4 years here because the
Mhm.
experiences that you're going to get out of it are, like, more than you can imagine.
Mhm.
And I know when we're at orientations or at involvement fairs or at Future Eagle Days, we try and tell people, like, "Hey, you can join our exec team. You can go to this national conference."
Mhm.
And they're just like, yeah, that's really cool." But, like, it's so cool,
Yeah.
and I just think it's so important that everyone, like, takes those experiences and puts their all into it because really, like, what you get out of it is what you put into it.
Mhm.
If I just showed up to cab once a week, showed up to the events, and that's all I did, I
Mhm.
wouldn't be where I am today at
Mhm.
all.
Yeah, I think the on NACA itself, your ed session was packed,
Yeah,
and
people on the
I
floor.
people really, I think, took what you said to heart, and
Mhm,
I think that is wild to think about, and it's, like, so this is the, like, mama bear in me of the, like, 4 years ago, Hannah would not have done that. She would not
no.
have been, "I'm gonna talk in front of a room of 100 students from institutions all across the
Mhm,
country about something I'm passionate about," and sharing your mark all to
yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, freshman year Hannah was so different. Like, looking back on it, I it just blows my mind, like, the growth that I've had
Mhm,
at Ashland for my 4 years,
mhm,
and I attribute it not only to my academics, but, like, to you and CAB and all the other involvements I have
mhm,
on campus. I don't think I'd be that person without
mhm.
them.
What would you say has been one of the areas that you've grown into outside of the classroom?
Mhm. I think for myself, I'm better at being a self-advocate and beyond myself for others. I freshman year Hannah would not have spoken up for herself, would not have, called somebody out for not being kind. Um, I wouldn't push people to be better. I was 18 and now I'm 22 and I feel comfortable,
Mhm,
self-advocating, advocating for others, like leading others. That's intimidating as an 18-year-old and
mhm,
now like I'm helping people do that in a career right
mhm,
after graduation. So, I would say that. I'd say, like, advocacy. I
mhm.
think another thing is you have taught me a lot about self-care and boundaries, which is something I would have never considered or even thought about without
Mhm.
you, so I thank you for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I every week you ask me, "What am I doing for self-care this week?" And there are weeks, Liz, where I am just like I don't know, nothing,
Uh-huh. Nothing.
nothing, and
That's not
you
an option.
won't let me leave your office until I give you something, and I just think I've never had an advisor like that ever,
Mhm.
or a mentor or anybody.
Mhm. I think the only reason I do that is because my mentor did that to me in college.
Mm,
Um, his name was Tracy. He was my RLC for only a year,
yeah.
but the impact that he had on me with that
Mhm,
is huge, and
mhm,
so, um he made me realize, like, I was a hot mess in college. I think
Mhm.
most students are,
Yeah.
um, especially as a sophomore.
Mhm.
And he made me realize the importance of, like, slowing down and, like,
Mhm.
really focusing on what re-energizes you. Even
Mhm.
if it's for a short 10-minute walk, meditation, whatever. Um, Jeopardy was my thing in college, so, like, watching an episode of Jeopardy. Um,
My gosh.
and really focusing on that and making it a priority when you're still in college, because that's when you're, like, adults with training wheels. We're all figuring it out and all here to help support you as students figuring it out, and unless you have somebody pushing you, especially
Mhm.
on self-care, once you graduate, it's like, "Well, now I have all this free time after work. What do I do?
Yeah.
And how do I support myself with that?"
Mhm.
So I think that's huge. It makes so much sense as to why you're the leader the way that you are because of, like, I see past mentors in me that then are I'm seeing in you as we're passing down all of these traits from down and down and down and down
Mhm.
and down.
Mhm.
And I think that's really impactful.
Yeah. I think being able to this year lead Emily has been such a unique experience for me
Mhm.
that, like, I wouldn't trade for the world. Like,
Mhm.
it's meant so much to me. My friendship with her has just blossomed, but also, like, how we lead cab together. We've transformed it this year between
Mhm.
our retention and our event attendance and
Mhm.
all of these things, but not only that, I've seen her grow from freshman year Emily, and she's only a sophomore now, but I
Mhm.
have seen her grow so much, and
Mhm.
sometimes it's hard for me to give myself credit
Mhm.
for doing things like
Mhm.
that, but I know that part of her growth is because of me and you and Cab and
Mhm.
everything else that she does.
Mhm. Yeah, I think there's so much that goes behind the scenes on the entire student activities realm, but
Mhm.
especially CAB, that
Me
that leadership development and development of students is so unnoticed.
I think with CAB specifically, I have not found another organization on campus that pours that much leadership growth into their students and from peer to peer.
Mhm.
I have not found that anywhere else and can confidently say that I would not be the leader I am today without CAB.
Mhm. So, now that you're graduating,
Mhm.
huh? Uh, um, what's next? What's your
So
new pursuit?
much. So much. So after graduation, I will become a professional development trainer at Ohio Cat, Ohio Machinery. And it's actually ironic how I ended up there. But last April, it was like 11 o'clock at night. I'm just doing my nightly scroll and I see that they have a job posting for a learning and development intern. And I was like, what is this? Because pre this internship, my plan was to go into higher ed.
Mhm.
Like that's
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to be the next Liz, but like I'd be Hannah. But that's what I wanted to do. I
Mhm.
thought that's what was next for me, but I saw this internship. It was, you'll be helping with like essential skills classes, professional development classes. You'll help
Mhm.
with e-learning creation and all of this stuff. And I was like, that sounds fun. And I applied. And within 48 hours, I heard from a recruiter and they were like, "Hey, we want to do a phone screening with you." And I was like, "You're kidding." Like, get out of town. And I just like I didn't believe it cuz
Mhm.
I am a psychology student and
Mhm.
it's such a broad field, but
Mhm.
they were looking for somebody with an education background, a human resources background, business, something
Mhm.
like that. And I was like, Hmm. I just took the chance and had my phone screening. It went great. They were very kind. And, I had it on a Friday and that following Monday, I was on a Zoom call talking to the team that I would be working with.
Mhm.
And they were great. I was so nervous though, like never been in corporate America before. And
Mhm.
I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then they brought me in for an in-person interview. We talked for what felt like hours.
Mhm.
And, I really like explained what Ashland has given me and why I am a fit for this role. psychology is so broad. It's a social science, but I understand how people learn and how people develop and understand things.
Mhm.
And not only that, but with CAB, like I've planned now over 100 events and I
Mhm.
lead student leaders on campus. I've traveled to conferences. I have what you're looking for. You just need to take a chance on me and they did. And so grateful for this experience that I've had with them. I've now been with them for almost a year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll be transitioning into full time as a professional development trainer. So, really, what that means for me is, I'll be pursuing the development of adults now in their life skills. So, active listening, stress management, anything really that you can think of that's so important for a human to know.
Mhm.
And also, I'm so lucky to be, taking charge of our intern program that I created. The company's been talking about it as a whole for a while, but,
Mhm.
they kind of delegated that project to me. And for the past several months, that's what I've been creating and doing at work among every other thing that I do there. But I'm so excited to continue to help develop college students in a role like this. So I want to be the person that I needed when I was an intern and I had support at my job from so many people and I just want to continue providing that support to college students.
Love that.
Yeah. I didn't know I'd be here.
I yeah.
It's so crazy. Like
Yeah.
it kind of goes back to what I said earlier about coming in as a nursing student.
Mhm.
Like freshman year Hannah would be looking at me right now and being like, "Girl, you're so crazy. Like, we're gonna be a nurse."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know. I wish I had somebody in my freshman year to tell me that, like, everything was gonna be okay, because it was, like, catastrophic to me that I was changing my major.
Mhm.
Like, it felt world ending, and it
Yeah.
it wasn't,
It
and the
yeah.
world kept spinning
You
every single
survived.
day,
Yeah.
and I wish somebody, told me that it was gonna be okay.
Mhm. I think you had a lot of people in your corner,
So many.
right?
Yeah.
Besides myself, like, you
Mhm.
had Kelly and Dr. Bonfiglio
Mhm.
talking with you and saying, like, "We can do this."
Yeah. I think maybe one it's not a fault, but something that I'm really hard on myself is, like, I'm my biggest critic. I'm very hard on myself, and I put myself to high standards, so when I have this grand plan and it, falls apart, I'm just like, "Oh, no, what do I do?"
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that there's, like, a stigma around you have to come into college and have it all figured out,
Mhm.
and I think that's so far from the truth.
Mhm.
And I think that that's something I've taken upon myself to, tell our students that are in CAB, and even if they're not in CAB,
Mhm.
literally anybody, that you don't have to have it all figured out.
Mm-mm.
And I still don't. I'm
Yeah.
graduating. Like I might have a job, but I'm still finding out who I am.
Mhm.
I'm, you know, I'm taking it day by day. And I think that one of the best things that somebody can tell, like you can tell yourself or I can tell others or anybody can tell others is that it's going to be okay and you don't have to have it all figured out.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's the whole point of college, right?
Mhm.
And we were talking about it yesterday, last night, 2 nights ago, I don't even remember. Um, it's a perpetual conversation that we're
It
having,
is.
but, that there's so much that you don't know until you step foot on college, like a college campus,
Yeah.
of what can you get involved with, what experiences are there? Like, I had no idea that, like, working in res life and student activities was a whole job.
Right.
And, like, there are people, like, who do this, like, they've been in the field for 40
Mhm.
years, and I'm like I look at them and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, you're incredible."
Yeah.
Like, and they're like we call them our student activity celebrities,
Yeah,
right, when we go to NACA,
yes, they are.
and, like but I had no idea that that was a field.
Mhm.
Um
I didn't know what I'm doing as a
Yeah.
field. Had
Yeah, I
no
wouldn't have
idea.
guessed that learning and development about conflict mediation and like self-care and all of that at a construction company existed.
Yeah, it's so crazy because I don't know, it's almost like I was meant to end up there. Because when I my first job was working at a hardware store, and I've just my dad and brother, like, my whole family is just very, like, outdoorsy. My dad fixes cars. My brother is working on a car right now, and just, like, everyone, I don't know, it's like it was in my blood almost to, like, end up just somewhere.
Uh-huh.
I think it's, like, kinda funny, but I've always ended up in male-dominated fields.
Mhm.
Every really every job that I've had, I mean, mine is nursing. It is primarily female dominated, but
Mhm.
I'm working in a male dominated field right now,
Mhm.
and I think, like, that's just so empowering as a young woman in today's world
Mhm.
that I can do this. Like,
Yeah.
I can work. I can do it. I can do it.
Mhm. You
Yeah.
can go to the construction site,
I can. I get me a hard hat and a vest and I'm ready.
but make it pink.
Yeah, make it pink. That's my favorite color. And so, what are you pursuing? What are you doing, girl? What's next for you as I feel like you're not out of the young professional realm, but, like, you're
Alright.
hey,
Rude.
you're getting there, like, you've been in this realm for a while in
Yeah.
higher ed, so,
Mhm.
like, what's next for you?
Well, yeah, I think that is an ever evolving question.
Yeah.
So now that I've been at Ashland in this role for 4 years,
Mhm.
I feel really comfortable in it. Like,
Yeah.
even today when we were walking out and, somebody stopped us and was like, "How you feeling about Springfest?" And she was like
Gosh.
I was like, "Fine. I think it's gonna go great.
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't
going
looked at the weather. Like, I'm not letting it stress me out."
yeah.
And she's like, "That's wild."
4
Like,
years ago,
4
we
years ago, we were
weather app
weather
every 10
app.
minutes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we knew it down to the second.
Mhm.
And even, like, talking to our vendor that we have coming on Saturday, last night, he was like, "So do you, like, have a layout?" And I said, "We'll figure it out."
We all have
Like,
vibes.
we're both, like, experts in what we do, and
Yeah.
so, like, we'll work together that day to figure it out.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Alright, perfect, love that." And I think it's now that I feel more comfortable in the role at the university, um and especially under the new presidency,
Yeah.
with President Petey coming in, it's now we're evolving. And I think that's really what I'm pursuing is how does student activities evolve to meet our current college student? Because the college students that I was handling and bringing in 4 years ago is different than the college students that are coming in now. And how do we meet them where they are and help them grow to be well-formed adults when they leave, both inside the classroom and outside the classroom?
Mhm.
Um, I think that's my perpetual pursuit and also just, like, staying up in what student activities is.
It is ever evolving. I think the pandemic had a huge impact on that,
Mhm,
and we're still feeling the impact. It's gotten better,
mhm.
but I think that it we will still feel it for a while.
Yeah, like, on our campus, we're finally our attendance rates are back to where they were pre-pandemic, but we're also programming a lot more. Like you said, CAB programs every single weekend, which wasn't necessarily their norm
Yeah.
before the pandemic, and our level of programming has had to increase.
Mhm.
The caliber of the events that
Yeah.
we're doing. Grocery bingo is
Mhm.
no longer $600. It's now
So much.
more than that.
Yeah.
I think a small grocery bingo for us is now $1,200. Um, but, like, the level that we're programming is meeting the energy of the students,
Yeah, I agree.
and I think matching that is super important on our campus
Mhm.
to across the board, regardless of what program or organization it is. I think that is the next step.
Yeah, I like that. I think that, you're in class every day
Mhm.
and you do so much with your faculty, professors, like
Mhm.
Monday through Friday, but what happens after 4 p.m. when they go home? What
Mm,
is there to do? And
mhm,
I think that's why it's so important to find something to be involved in and be a part of something bigger than yourself.
mhm,
That's like what I try and tell students, especially when they're coming in as freshmen, that
mhm,
find your place on campus. And it's okay if, like, on the first try that's not what you find,
mhm,
but it'll come eventually. And I think what I love about cab is the way that internally our members explain it of how it's like a safe place for them on campus and
Mhm.
it's inclusive and it's just a plethora of things and like
Mhm.
it like kind of makes me want to like cry sometimes because I'm like, wow, like we did that.
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
did that. And
Mhm.
every other leader that's been in CAB has been a part of shaping that.
Mhm.
I know that Maeve had a huge impact on me and how I lead now and you've
Mhm.
had a huge impact on me and it's just like all these moving parts and people like fit into this puzzle of
Mhm.
creating this community within
Mhm.
CAB.
Yeah, I think Ashland is built on relationships.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you had to smother it down, I think it's all about the relationships that you build here that
Mhm.
leave that lasting impact on
Mhm.
you. It is that embodiment of accent on the individual, like,
Yeah.
how the entire campus is rooting for every student to succeed, whether
Yes.
it's your residence life coordinators or all the way up to the president. It's athletic coaches, it's student activities professionals, it's academic advising, it's everybody.
The support that both faculty and staff members give to their students on campus is so crazy, even if they're not like their own students,
Mhm.
right? Courtney, I Courtney
Courtney
Farver,
Farver.
the she just means so much. But I'm not
And
even
she's not even your like, you're
no.
not a like, you live in the residence halls,
Yeah.
but you're not
I'm not an
an RA,
RA.
you're not
I
yeah.
don't I'm not in the res life realm, but
Mhm.
I'm in the office close to every single day and
Mhm.
I kinda just, like, mingle over there, and that's, like, what you have to do is you have
Mhm.
to let others in and let
Mhm.
others see who you are, and
Mhm.
what you pour into others is what you're gonna give back
Mhm.
or get back, and with Courtney, like, I kinda just let her see, like, "Yeah, I'm this bubbly, outgoing, crazy cab president, but I'm not just cab president, like, I'm Hannah."
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I think she's seen that and
Mhm.
she's like she pours into me. She'll just come over and like check on me and Emily.
Mhm.
At times we just go in and bombard her office and
Yeah. Well, I think it especially with her, and honestly, even with me, it goes both ways, right? The amount that you all as students that we pour into you as students, you all pour back
mm,
into us.
yeah.
Um, like decorating the office for my birthday
Have
and
hundo.
or yeah, we're not gonna go there. Decorate it like or when it's 11 o'clock at night and you guys are still in the office, which is fine when you're 22-year-olds.
Yeah.
But when Courtney's in the office, who is not 22, at 11 o'clock at night, you're over there being like, "Why are you here? Go home.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
take care of yourself. Go home."
Yeah.
And I think that is the relationship building that
Mhm.
leaves an impact.
Yeah. I think another like example is when we had the Amsteads fire.
Mm, mhm.
Emily and I came back to campus early from break
Oh,
to
yeah.
like figure out how can we support this team and anybody that we need to like how can we
Mhm,
support we like stayed up late and woke up early to you know provide that support make sure
mhm.
they're getting fed
Yeah,
delivering meals across campus
in the
and
rain.
in the rain but like
Yeah,
I would do that 100 times over
yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
of every ounce that everyone on that side and in the student life office and everywhere on campus has poured into me.
Mhm,
Like I think if anybody on this campus gave me a call, like I'd be there.
mhm,
That's the one thing that Ashland is really great about is the
mhm,
relationships.
mhm. And I think now as you're very fastly approaching graduation, unfortunately, you are making it a priority to do that across campus. So not just within CAP, but talking with the first year seminar people
Mhm.
and student senate and even doing this.
Yeah.
Like you want to leave your voice on campus, but also make sure that like you're a proud alumni of it and what it's
Yeah.
going for.
Yeah, I if there's anything that I've really focused on this past year, it's advocating for the evolving needs of students, meeting students where they are. Like
Hmm.
what do our students need? And I'm also a student.
Hmm.
So it's kind of crazy that there's this senior on campus, and, I will stay at a meeting until 1 in the morning advocating and fighting for what is right for our students, and
Mhm.
once again, wouldn't trade that for the world
Mhm.
because that's what I wanna leave my voice, but I wanna make sure other voices are heard as well.
Mhm.
I think my voice is important, but making sure others are heard that don't feel comfortable standing up and talking, like,
Mhm.
but they're heard as well.
Mhm.
I think that's, like, another thing that Ashlyn has taught me. It goes back to the self-advocacy and advocating for others and
Mhm.
the public speaking and conflict management because we keep going back to freshman Hannah. I
Mhm.
She would not have done that. She avoided conflict at all costs, and
Mhm.
now I'm ready. Like, and I don't think conflict is bad, like, I think it's positive. I
Mhm.
think all the conflict that I've had here has led to positive change and growth in myself and also the other person that I've been in conflict with too.
Mhm. Well, 'cause I think it's conflict and communication, they all go together.
Yeah, and once again, Ashlyn is fantastic at that, is helping you develop these life skills,
Mhm.
not only in the classroom, but outside and everything you're involved in.
Mhm.
What's one thing that Ashlyn has taught you?
Ashlyn has taught me so much about myself and my needs,
Mhm.
um, and I think a lot of that comes from learning from Nicole,
Yeah.
obviously, but also how much care there is, for others available that I have within myself
Mhm.
and that others have for the university and for the community that we're all creating. Everybody shows it differently, but
Mhm.
everybody still cares about what we're building here and pouring into students in every aspect that we
Mhm.
can,
Mhm.
um, I think is huge.
Yeah. I think what I love also about Ashland is after Leadership and Service Awards on Sunday, I went to dinner and there was just like somebody from the board of trustees
Oh, wow.
at the restaurant and he was just like it was like we knew each other for years. He was just like ready to talk and like everyone's super involved with the students and everything Ashland's doing,
Mhm,
whether you're a professor or a staff member or you're just a Ashland community member, like
mhm,
everyone
mhm,
everyone kind of like stands in your corner and like backs you. I think
mhm.
it's like really cool.